Yeah, so hello guys, hello everyone, good afternoon, guys. Yeah, welcome to this New York session market analysis, live trading session, and also live trading market analysis. Yeah, so hope everyone is ready for this. Just to say that um, the New York session is one of the active sessions that we have in this industry, together with the London. So two sessions that are mostly active, mostly traded, are the London and the New York session. Okay. So now I just want to do analysis on gold, especially on XAUSD. That's why it's the most also traded because of its pip value. It has a lot of pips. We can't compare gold with and other currencies because this is one of the active and almost most also traded. Yeah, because of its pip value. Yeah, pip value yake ni kubwa sana. That's why people trade it. So I would like to go on higher time frame to see the overall trend on it, and also to see what our prediction, where will be our entries, so that we can be ahead of the market. Okay. So this is gold on a daily, on a 4 time frame. On a 4 time frame, gold is very bearish. To be honest, the market is very bearish on 4 time frame. On a 2 time frame, the same thing. The market is very bearish. Maybe now our target zone we should be at this structure here. The next low, which will be this zone here. That will be our initial target. If we are bearish on it, lazima market ifike at this low. Okay. So if I lower down on the 1 hour time frame, that's how the market look like on a 1 hour time frame. The market is very bearish. But now we have what we call a BMS. The market broke a structure here, which is called a break of market structure at this zone. The market created a new low. So we are very bearish on that market on a 1 hour time frame. The market is simply moving what we call creating lower high. The market created a new low, purchased back on a lower high. Now it created a new low. Now potentially a lower high for more bearish momentum on XAUSD on a 30-minute time frame. So that's why we are bullish. We are bearish on gold on that time frame. So again, if I go on a 5-minute time frame, that's how the market looks like on a 5-minute time frame. Coincidentally, the market created what we call a reversal chart pattern, which is an head and shoulder pattern, which is this one. So if you guys can see this, the market created what we call an head and shoulder pattern, and an head and shoulder pattern is for simply sales opportunity. On this market. So if this market is going to drop, it's going to drop all the way to the next low, which will be this level. Okay. So now what should we see? We should see some very good bearish momentum. Due to one head, left shoulder, right shoulder for a sell. If you can use this type of a tool, that's how the market looks like on that's an head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Some possible short position which happened to perfection, and the market has sold very good, very nice. Now, where are we now going to enter trade? Remember, guys, yeah. Once we have this pattern, which is called an head and shoulder pattern, this is a bearish reversal chart pattern that shows a very clean sales opportunity. But now we have two types of entry on a pattern, especially on a head and shoulder pattern. So we have two entry scenarios or criteria. Once if you are trading this pattern, number one, our first entry on a head and shoulder pattern should be on the neck, on the shoulders. Yeah. So our first entry should be on the shoulders here. This is where that our first entry that makes sense on this market, to sell the market on a shoulder first. Are you getting? That's the first entry that's supposed to be taken on the shoulder. This is an entry that if now we are taking these sales, we're supposed to take a sell zone on the shoulders. That's our maybe number one possible sell zone. Number two possible sell zone, if it's not on the shoulders, is once if the market changes the character when the market broke the previous low at this zone, creates a new lower low and then a lower high for more sales. Are you getting this? So two zones of an entry on a head and shoulder pattern. So number one should be on the shoulder. Nagami Mikwacha should be now waiting for a breakout. Once if the market forms a breakout and now does a retracement on the neckline, you're supposed to sell that market. So two zones. Number one, either A or B. So A on the shoulders for a sell. If it's not A, it should be B. B, once if the market breaks or forms a new lower low, now retrace back to on a lower high for a sell. Okay, so tukienda kwa chart zetu tuone ni gani sasa, ni wapi iko, should be on A or B. Let's come back. So here we are. So now our entry now here, the A has already gone. The entry A has already gone because we are supposed to take an entry, maybe our first entry here, but now unaona ishaenda. What about entry B? Entry B, we said once if the market breaks the neckline, forms a new lower low, and then retrace, that's when you are going to have those short position for a sell. Okay, now here we are. The market has already formed a new lower low. It has already break the neckline, formed a new lower low. So a very good retracement is going to happen so that you can sell that market there. Very nice. So my view now on gold, I'll be waiting for a pullback to point B so that you can sell that market. So that you can sell that market there, point B. So our area of interest will be point B. So for a short position, because we already have a short, what we call this is a neckline, okay, a neckline. So point B now will be our area of interest for a sell, at least targeting the recent low, which will be this low here. Okay, should be that level, point B. Point B should be your area of interest so that we can sell that market, targeting the recent low. That's the place that at least gold shows an area of interest for us to sell, at least targeting the next recent low, which will be about 46.55. It will be our take profit area. So once if that market retraces back to this zone, that's when we are going to take an entry. So be active for that, and at least it should be some very good pips because now if I count from this low, from this zone, targeting all this level, that's more than 306 pips down. So 306 pip loading on gold. But once if it's a confirm, remember that. And remember the rule is once if you have a confirmation, that's when you're going to take a trade. So some very, very good pips loading, guys, on gold because of a very good short position coming on it. So waiting to point B, we should be on an area of interest. The reason why we are going to take a trade, let me just explain. I've said that number one, we have a head and shoulder pattern. That's a bearish chart pattern, number one. So that's obviously shows sells. Number two, we have a change of character. The market has broke the previous lows, these zones here. That's the reason number two why we are going to have those sells. Number three, the market is doing that retracement to a point B, which will be our area of interest for a sell. Then number four, the market has a very good risk to reward ratio of how many pips in profits, like 306 pips in profit. Once if it's confirm and once if the market shows those sales opportunity, then I think so we'll be okay. So nothing but wait. Remember, patience all the way. Patience pays. Let's wait for that market to pull back to that area. Once if it does pull back to that zone, then I think so we are going to have some very good short position on gold. So let's just wait for that confirmation and then we are going to take a trade. Nice. So allow me to go to the next now currencies. Remember, this is an XAU. USD is one of the people that are traded there. So let me go to currencies now. Starting with let me start with GBP AUD and then to continue like that. So let me go to GBP AUD. As usual, start with the higher time frame. Never start the analysis on the lower time frame because the lower time frame can never give you a general market view, a general market trend. So once if you start with the higher time frame, I think so you'll be okay. Now that's GBP AUD on a 4-hour time frame. At least let's go on a daily first. Daily time frame on GBP AUD. The trend has been very, very, very bearish. It has been very, very bearish. It has been dropping massively in the last 2 days. Monday, Tuesday, the market has been very, very bearish. So the good thing is just continue with the trend. Trend is your friend. Always follow the trend. So the trend has been bearish. So let's go on the lower time frame to find areas of interest. So that's on a 4-hour time frame. Let's go on a 2-hour. So that's the 2-hour time frame on it. So now, what should we do? Guys, I told you and I repeat again. Whenever you see a very strong bearish momentum on a certain market, for example, GBP AUD on a 2-hour time frame, that's how the market looks like. The market has been bearish without leaving an OB, without leaving a lower high. What should we do? We should use what we call a fib level or a fib retracement. So what should we do on that? Take out your horizontal ray, mark the recent low where the market has been. Now mark your recent high where the market has been lastly. Now using fib, unachukua the fib tool is just on your trading view. Tap from the recent low, the recent high, and then drag down all the way to the recent low, and mark your area of interest, which will be 0.5, 0.6. So we have 0.1 here, 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, and then 1. So what should we mark here? We should mark katikati, which will be 0.5, 0.6. That will be our fib level. And now that fib level says that this market is supposed to pull back all the way to 0.5, 0.6 so that we can have those sales opportunities there. So after that, remove that zone here. And then let's wait for this market to pull back all the way to 0.5, 0.6 so that we can have those short position on GBP/USD. Why have I used this fib? The reason being, number one, we don't have a clear lower high. The market is just simply bearish, very strong bearish. We don't have an OB left. We don't have a chart pattern. We don't have a continuous chart pattern. What should we have? We have what we call a fib. A fib, you can use a fib anywhere. On a certain trend, we use fib retracement to know the areas where the market will pull back to, yeah, and also our area of interest. So that's my view on GBP/AUD on a 2-hour time frame on it. So waiting for this market to pull back all the way to my fib area so that I can have those bearish trend or a specific interest will be on a fib level here. So nothing but just wait, guys, for that pullback on a 2-hour time frame so that we can have those bearish trends. Nice. So next pair, allow me to go to AUD card. AUD card, nice. It's doing now that breakout after a consolidation for the last even all day, yesterday and today. The market has been consolidating about this area. You have this demand here. Now you have this supply here. So two zones there. So what should we do? Whenever you have these two zones, always wait for a breakout either way, up or below. So if it can break below, we are going to have those sales. If it can break above, that's when we are going to have some good buys. So once if we have this, because it's kind of breaking above and higher high, higher low for more buys opportunity, it will be okay. Why the reason am I sticking with that buy? Because the trend is bullish and the market is moving. It has been moving, creating buys, bullish momentum. So I'll stick with those buys opportunity because if this market is gonna break that zone, forms a new high and then a high low, then the buys are active. The buys are very good to go. Buys into now make more sense, right? Next we have USD JPY. USD JPY, we had a wedge. The market has been following this certain zone, but USD JPY is not that much clear, to be honest. No need to force an entry, but once if it break this zone above this area, you see this zone, we have this trend line here, a bullish one, and then you have a structure here. So once if this market breaks above that zone here, that's when we are going to have those bullish momentum on USD JPY for more buys opportunity. You're getting this. So waiting for a higher high, then a higher low for more buys on it, and higher low for more buys opportunities on USD JPY. So no need to rush, but let's stick with the plan. Let's wait for that breakout before taking any trade on USD JPY. Next here we have Euro AUD. Remember, Euro AUD and GBP AUD, they are positive correlated. What do I mean by positive? They move the same direction. I repeat again, GBP AUD and Euro AUD, they are positive correlated because of the AUD pair on the quote side. Okay, so these are positive correlated. And what do we do? Whenever we see this kind of a positive correlated, remember what we did in GBP AUD? We use fib. Fib because we had a bearish momentum like this. So what should we do? Using the horizontal ray, draw the recent low, and now draw the recent high. Using fib from the high all the way to the low, draw your fib levels, which is a katikati 0.5, 0.6. So draw that zone using a rectangle and do what? and simply wait for that market to pull back to that fib level so that it can continue selling because the trend is bearish. So it's just more, it shows more bearish momentum. So if this market is going to retest back to this zone, that's when I'm going to take those short position on a Euro AUD to have those sales. Remember, they are positive correlated with Euro AUD. GBP AUD, that's how GBP AUD look like, and Euro AUD, that's how Euro AUD look like. So they are positive correlated. So ladies and gentlemen, that's my view on Euro AUD and GBP AUD. Next, here we are now. We are on AUD JPY. AUD JPY waiting for a retracement back to this OB on a 2-hour time frame on it, so that we can have those buys opportunity there. Okay, so are you guys ready to trade AUD JPY once we pull back to that zone on our order block? That's one of the A setup that we have on currency wise. So if this market is going to retest back to this zone, I think so it will be a very A setup for us. So nothing but just to wait for that market to pull back to that OB for more buys opportunity on it. Nice. Okay, we have Bitcoin. Wow, I gave out Bitcoin. I gave out this trade earlier on the London session market analysis. I gave out this sell. I don't know if someone took it. I gave out a live entry. If you guys remember, I told you guys to sell BTC there due to an OB on a 2-hour time frame on it. This candlestick here. This was an OB, which made this market to drop massively all the way to a take profit because we were targeting this low. There isn't low there. Then the market went all the way and hit that take profit. So if you took it, nice. I hope so you guys made money from it. That's how we trade. That's how we give out live entries. That's how we target specific areas, and we never miss. So that's how Bitcoin dropped massively due to just an OB. Very simple. This is an order block, a bearish OB. So the market dropped massively, pulled back to the OB. Now again dropped all the way to a recent low, which we were targeting. And if you took the risk, you have been rewarded by the market. So you have been paid, right? Nice. So that's BTC, and that's nice. Next we have AUD USD. Let's go on higher time frame first. That's how the market look like on a higher time frame. That's on 4-hour time frame on AUD USD. 4-hour time frame on AUD USD. 4-hour time frame on AUD USD. The market is simply bullish, but sort of a consolidation. If you can see it here, the market has been there for the last almost 2 days. The market has been there, right? The market has been there. So that's AUD USD on HO. So no need but just wait for a breakout either above or below so that you can say we are bullish, extremely bullish, or we are bearish. So that's the AUD USD on 4-hour time frame. Very nice breakout above so that you can be bullish, or a breakout below for a bearish. So either way, but right now nothing confirmed yet on AUD USD. Euro USD. On Euro USD, yes, we have what we call a base. What do you call this? A change of character, right? So once if we have that, I always say whenever we have a new lower low formed, the market cannot move creating a new lower low without a lower high. It's impossible. So that's why I always wait for a pullback, because I know the market, when the market forms a new lower low, the market always do that retracement, do that pullback for more sales. And if this market is going to retrace back to this zone where it did a break of market structure, then I think so we'll be okay selling Euro USD there. So Euro USD, if this market is going to retrace back to that zone, we are going to have those bearish momentum targeting the recent low, which is with that level. So some very good short position loading on Euro USD also. Okay, Euro USD. So that's Euro USD. Next we have a GJ. We call it GBP JPY. GBP JPY, honestly, the market has been sort of weeks up and now. Look at this. In the last how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, more than 20 hours. or yes, the market has just been there on Euro USD, but now we have a zone. The market has broke the structure below and then closing with a very strong bearish candlestick. So I always wait for a pullback so that I can be on those bearish momentum, because a very huge and a very strong bearish candlesticks coming in this market here. So once we have that, a very good short position on GBP JPY targeting the recent low. Stop loss always above the structure. Okay, that will be a very good risk to reward ratio. That's how we are gonna have short position there. If it can pull back to that zone, we are going to sell GJ again. Remember, we're gonna sell GJ again. NZD USD. Wow, NZD USD is now doing that breakout on that low. That's a very, very good one. If it can do, because not it has already did that breakout. So just a pullback, by the way. It has already did a breakout. So just a pullback for more bearish on that specific market. So a retracement to this zone for more sells. A retracement for more a retracement for more drops on NZD USD. They're still on 2-hour time frame on it, so a pullback for more bearish momentum on the NZD USD there. That's nice on it. Those are pullback for some very good money. USD CHF. Nothing really much on it. So USD Euro JPY. Euro JPY, yes, we have an OB, sort of an order block here. So we have a zone there on Euro JPY. Very good two zones here. If I lower back on the 15, remember, if the market is bullish, the market is going to break this high, right? Lazima kama market is bullish, lazima ita break that level. And if the market is bearish, obviously it will break this zone. I'm on 50-minute time frame on it. So either way, by the way, either way, to have a bullish or a bearish market on it. So if it can break above, for more buys, and if it can break below, for more sells. So we stick with it to wait for a breakout or a breakout above for a buy, or a breakout below for a sell. That's Euro JPY on a 50-minute time frame. So I'll be patient waiting for either way breakout, above or below, to have buys or a below for sell. So let's stick with the plan. Let's wait for a breakout. Euro GBP, higher time frame. Nothing really much on it. Let's go to GBP card. GBP card, yes, it's bearish, 100% bearish. To broke this level, which is a new low there. So just a pullback for more bearish momentum. Just a pullback on this zone so that you can have those sells. Just a pullback on GBP card so that you can be very bearish on it. That will be very nice sells opportunities on GBP card. Yeah. Next we have let me go to silver. Silver has been there without a very clean direction. If you can see here, this silver on a 30-minute time frame, the market is in between the zone. If you can see it, silver is in between the zone, consolidating up and down. So no honestly view on silver. Yeah? My honest view on silver, I don't see a buy or a sell right now. So let's leave it there for now. USD, if we go on a high time frame, let me go on 1 hour. Some maybe sales here in this OB. The market has left an order block, so some very good sales opportunities here on USD on a 30-minute time frame. So a pullback for drops. a pullback for drops on US30. So US oil, no view on it. So yeah, so that's it guys for now. Let me go back to the top favorite pairs that we had. Like gold. Gold now is like doing that pullback at the area of interest for a sell. So we should be looking at it in the next 30 minutes for a confirmation on point B so that we can sell. That's gold. And that's another currency that you have seen, you have analyzed. So make sure you watch the video, you watch and watch again. Let's wait for a confirmation. Remember, confirmation will be just a bearish engulfing candlestick or any other bearish candlestick that signals sales opportunity. So remember, the rule is no confirmation, no entry. Remember, we are bearish on gold, so just waiting for a confirmation. Remember, confirmation matters a lot with your strategy. You can have the best strategy, but without a very good confirmation, you'll end up in endless losses. So make sure you have a confirmation before taking any trade. Okay. So I wish you a beautiful afternoon, guys. Remember to trade with a lot of risk management. Use a stop loss whenever you're trading, and remember to take the risk. So thank you so much, and have a beautiful afternoon.